I know you want me. Something in the air. I know you want me. Something in the air. I thought I was doing okay. God, how did I end up this way? Think I'm getting used to this pain, and I only got myself to blame. I thought I was doing okay. God, how did I end up this way? Think I'm getting used to this pain, and I only got myself to blame. And I only got myself to believe.
Hello, everybody, and welcome into another weekend of the Camelot Smite League. We got some good matchups today, starting off with Vibe Tribe versus the Hanford Hairnets here in Merlin Division. I am Dr. Shrew, joined by Things Go Boom and Rosie on the cameras as always. How you doing today?
I'm doing great. I'm excited to watch this. This is the #1 seed Vibe Tribe against the #3 seed Hairnets, with a lot of playoff implications on the line for this game. So it's going to be interesting to see.
It will be indeed, and we know that there's quite a few sub and roster changes here too, so it's going to throw things for a loop. But picks and bans are already underway and going through very quickly. We got Mercury and Thor on the side of Vibe Tribe, and Aphrodite and Hebo on the side of the Hairnets.
Vibe Tribe targeting Cruise Code here. He is one of the top junglers in this league, but if you can get him uncomfortable, I think Vibe Tribe's going to have a much better chance. Omni is absolutely insane in mid, but he plays a lot of the top mid players in this league are just so versatile and flexible that you can't really ban him out. So I like the idea from Vibe Tribe here, banning out Cruise Code, who is a very big win con for this team, and just hammering away at that god pool that he has.
Definitely, and continuing that with that Susano ban, they're definitely focusing on that jungle role, trying to take away as much as they can. We see the Terra banned away on the other side before first pick overall goes to the Rama for Zuzu in this carry role. Ram, I don't know about you, but I feel like he's in a very good spot right now with how good Crit is.
I hate versing Rama. I hate him. I hate him. I hate him. I love banning him out. Even though right now in the carry role, one, Marty is available right now. And you have Ishtar and CERN is what people would consider those top two picks. Rama, I think, is very, very strong still. Ooh, that'd be interesting. As he has the survivability, his wave clear is always good, and the crit always does well with him. Kirk Yem on the Hairnet side, healing, survivable frontline tanks, and just great CC displacement out of the both of them.
Yeah, Hairnet's already getting so much set up with that Herc Emoji combo. It's going to be, once we get to team fight phase, it's going to be really hard for the backliners of Vibe Tribe to stay safe here. But we have a Kali Changa locked in. Changa is an interesting one, but definitely the one that's standing out for me here right now. How do you feel about this pick for, I assume, Timbo in mid?
It's interesting. I think Ichi does like this in solo, though, so this could still be going solo. If in either one, it is the two, obviously, with the CC immunity and damage immunity, survivable to an extent. However, the three giving anti-heal, you slap a Divine Ruin or a Tainted onto this character, and Yem and Herc forget about healing as soon as they're close by. So I think you can have a lot of utility out of this pick, especially with her passive getting that buff, where if she's constantly hitting someone, it's 5% increased damage, 5% increased damage, 5% increased damage.
They will all obey their goddess.
Yeah, it's true. This could definitely go to solo, and I do agree that it is a good counter pick into the first two of the Hairnets there. We'll have to see how it works out. And we got the Ishtar locked in for the Hairnets as a response to the Rom on the side of Vibe Tribe. Ishtar, for my money, the best physical ADC in the game right now. It's just able to bring so much with all those different types of autos, and with how strong Crit is. She's safe. She's got a good team fight ultimate. I think it's definitely a very good pickup for the Hairnets.
Absolutely, just super safe, super steady. You know what you're getting out of the Ishtar. Top ADC in the league right now. You've seen the second wave of bans go through Ganesh, Agni, Guan. So targeting the front line of Vibe Tribe, which has not been taken yet, they think, and then Merlin hitting Omni based. Vibe Tribe's hitting Omni based God pool now, which is interesting as Tia is still available.
Tiamat is available indeed. That is a good point. And if, as you said, if Ichi likes playing this Changa in solo and does end up going that way, they basically ate a free ban there with that Guan Yu having already locked in the solo laner. So that could be a flex pick as well that they were trying to see what they could force out. Backline bans coming out of Vibe Tribe across the board. Hairnets already having locked in their front line there, just trying to limit what Omni can do, and they also still need that jungle pickup, but it's the Morgan Le Fay that's locked in. How do you feel about Morgan Le Fay in this on the current pack?
Yeah. They've got no chance.
Current pack, I don't think she's bad. I think she's always going to bring a safe pick in mid, even though she doesn't have a typical movement ability that you see out of a mage. She does have ways to get out of her. 3, if you upgrade it, gives you a lot of movement speed. The 2 is a fantastic self peel and also the best CC in the game in a fear. That's gonna really help when this Kali tries to dive onto her. Just being able to 1-2 this Kali is going to make you survive for a lot longer, and also helps with the Kali's in ult, as she cannot be knocked up, but she can be stunned and feared and all that. Maui's thoughts coming out from Vibe Tribe. Thought incredibly safe. The dash is insane, and probably won't be able. No one on Hairnets will be able to catch up to him if he can get out. Maui, fantastic CC immunity with the set, with the ult and the lead. Everything about him is just screams good setup.
And you were correct. It looks like this Chang'e is going to go to Ichi over there in the solo lane, with both obviously being the one that's going to take mid. He just has such great poke as well as his safety there. Just should be able to outrange almost anybody on the side of the Hairnets with his extended autos firing through the window. But we got a Bakasura locked in as the last pick for jungle on the Hairnets side. Now that we have a look at the full drafts on both sides, is there any which way you're sort of leaning for how this game will go?
I think in the 5v5, the Hairnets should win. Vibe Tribe has the ability to pick someone off if they are just slightly out of position, though. If the Hairnets stay as a 5-man death ball and just hit Vibe Tribe hard, they'll probably win late game. But Vibe Tribe, if they can pick that one person out, hit him with a Chanjio, hit him with Landfall, you're going to be able to just delete someone and then take that advantage, go into the fight, and roll with the Kali. So I would look for Vibe Tribe to snowball fights, but Hairnets want to take slow, steady fights where they're constantly able to poke and just slowly deplete Vibe Tribe sources while being able to constantly be healed up by a Yem, and Herc just being able to pluck someone as well. Once Herc plucks someone, that's going to be the fight.
Yeah, I think I agree. I feel like, as you said, if someone from the Hairnets does step out between Waxing Moon from Chang'e or a Landfall for Maui and then the follow-up of Final Judgment, there's just so much pick potential even with just those 3, and then you add in what Rom and Kali can do in a 1v1. It is, you're not going to want to get caught out like with bad pathing if you're a Hanford Hairnet here today.
Absolutely. I will say both of these jungle choices are interesting. These are two very late jungles. I don't think they'll be trying to get involved early in the slightest. Baka you might see when he gets that 5, gets that ult. You might see him try and go gank, but without ult, Bakasura really, it's a difficult gank for Bakasura unless someone is majorly out of position. So for these jungles, I'm looking at punishing overextension rather than going and chasing down kills. That's what I expect to see. Both of these want to just farm, sit back, hit that 20 mark, and then fight. They're going to be the ADCs of this game.
Yeah, I definitely agree. If we take a look at the dual lane as we hop into game here, Rom with the Maui versus Yamoja and Ishtar here. Do you expect pressure to go the way of Zuzu's Rom just because of those astral arrows being able to pierce through the wave, or do you think that the Yamoja Ishtar combo is going to be able to fight back into that?
I think this is where the starter will actually have a major impact in that Ishtar probably wins the lane pressure just because she went Leather Cow and you're getting that increased attack speed now. So you're able to use those enhanced autos from her 1 to do more damage, and you can obviously auto attack faster, so you're getting more value out of that than Rom is from his 1 in the auto cleave it does.
So did they? I actually don't know this. Did they fix the bug that Leather Cowl had? Is it back to working again?
I would assume so. I didn't even know it had a bug. What was the bug?
It was not giving the attack speed that it was supposed to. So I don't know if that got fixed or not.
I would assume it did. We are seeing some boxing here in mid, and then both jungles said, "No, we're good."
Yeah, as you said, definitely going to be a bit of a farm fest for the jungles there. Don't expect much, just trying to get some damage onto that Bastion there in the mid lane. As we jump back over to duo here. Should be interesting that that Toth poke already showing its head as he is able to kind of get some damage onto the Bakasura there, but it doesn't seem like the Hairnets really mind stepping up and just definitely getting the pressure in that 2v2 in mid.
Yeah, Kuzco bought a lot of time, so I don't think he minds taking that additional poke if it means he can get a little bit more pressure and then go farm the back camps like he just did. So he's taking 1v1. Holly doesn't want any part of this.
So hard to out-secure a Bakasura with that Eat minion. It doesn't even look like he needs it, able to get both with the help of his mid laner there anyway. Those little skirmishes might not seem like much, but if that continues and Kuzco's Bakasura can continue to get that level of like just winning the farm battle, it's definitely going to start adding up here pretty shortly.
Absolutely. Kali without her ult is a much worse character than Bakasura in the one, just because when Baka hits that 30, he's just doing true damage to you, and there's not really much you can do about that, especially early. I don't see too much in the starts that really has me thinking as Kuzco is just farm. These aren't your camps, they're mine. I guess the biggest discrepancy right now is the carry as dash tag. Good jump. Really good jump to avoid the root from the Thoth. Yeah, the biggest discrepancy I see right now is the Rama and Ishtar. Is he?
It looks like he is trying to set up for a little bit of a speed buff invade. Nothing will make a jungler angrier than getting his speed taken away, but a good root out from Kali is not enough. Eat minion gets the job done, and he does get the speed buff, but he's now in the middle of 3. Could be in a bit of trouble, but he's got the rotation out from Terminator here on this Hercules. Even continuing the invade with all of the pressure that's coming around right now. Gets low, but does manage to get out for the moment. Good root from the Toth there. Could be Hercules in trouble now. First blood on the table, and it does look like it won't happen. Blink in there by Simon Says Smite. Just a little bit off the mark and unable to secure that kill.
Kimbo was hitting every single root. I don't think he missed a single one during that entire time. That was insane. He's just so unfortunate. I don't think Simon had enough mana to... Kuzco is a menace. But he might die for it for being greedy.
Good pluck back in from Terminator. It actually could be Simon Says Smite in a lot of trouble right now. All of a sudden, 3 members around him. The Morgan Le Fay damage is just enough, and Omni-based getting credit for that first blood there. Gonna set this Morgan Le Fay ahead.
The fact that Kuzco gets away with doing all that and getting out 1 HP, constantly healing with Baka, just great knowing how much you can take without actually dying. Great follow-up from Omni and Terminator to make sure that they're there to kill Simon, and just fantastic team play all around from the Hairnets to get that first blood.
It was, and I really like this playstyle out of Kuzco, just being so annoying with the invades and just like you said, escaping situations that it did not seem he was able to get out of. That's, it's got to start to play in some of the like mental stuff. If he continues to just walk into your jungle and take camps right in front of you and walk out for free, that's going to start getting to you after a bit.
Absolutely, it's insanely frustrating. But both jungles do have 5 now, so this 1v1's a bit more even. Simon looks like he wants to gank with his ult up.
Does in, jumps in, 2-man landfall out, and the River's Rebuke to try and see if they can get out of this safely. The kill actually going to the Maui there. Kuzco trading him in return. Lots of damage coming on to Zuzu's Rama, and he will end up falling. That was the Bakasura ult used there. And they're not done yet. Diving the tower, and Yamoja getting credit for that kill. And before she falls to the tower line there, but fight not done for Kuzco. Dodging out all of those Toth autos. Does get hit by the final judgment, but it's not quite enough damage, and the leap over the wall should secure his life for the moment. Both supports on either side there getting credit for a kill in that fight.
That is so sad that Timbo couldn't hit any of those. Great dodges from Kuzco though. Man put on the juke boots, got out of there. But just a fantastic counter gank from Kuzco. they had vision on Kali going. Let's just she was in the duo side. So great response to just delay until Kuzco could get there. Yeah, your carry dies, but the 2-for-1 was great. Diving for Simon isn't the worst thing in the world. You're making side he can't get farm and Kuzco can. But trading out Yoshi's life is a little bit rough. And you would have wished Yoshi could have survived through that, obviously.
I guess one of the like boons of that is the fact that the tower got the credit for the kill there, so it only gave an assist over to Simon Says Smite, or it might not have, because there's only one assist on there, and I'm sure that came from the kill that Mr. the Joe got.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think he hit Yoshi, so only thing I guess it really hurt was as Simon is really hungry for this game. Here.
Leon in a lot of trouble on this Ishtar, and it should be an easy cleanup. Zuzu getting the credit for that. Another good rotation out of Simon there.
Absolutely. They're putting the pressure on this Lance call-up. I don't think Leon's going to have a very nice day if they're going to continue doing this. Just make sure that they can put the pressure where they know they will have the lead. There's a reason some people are in Lance, some people are in Merlin. As Terminator
could lots of damage. That Waxing Moon did so much to him. He doesn't have any magical procs yet, opting into this breastplate tree first. And Itchy is doing his best to take advantage of that. That was, I mean, just Doom Orb online is so much power that he's getting from that.
I think he only had tier 2 Doom Orb. I'm pretty sure the Rabbit just came back with that too.
If that's the case, he's going to be just absolutely swinging right now. We're going to have to see Terminator start to get some magic cross alignments. He does, but Destruction Ultimate keeps Simon Says Smite alive for now, but the damage from Kuzco is so good. Manages to dive under the tower and avoids the jump. Could be trouble here, and Kuzco, unable to finish the last couple hits there, ends up dying to the tower, and the credit for the kill goes to Simon Says Smite.
Little greedy Kuzco. I get where you're going. That's beads forced from Rama.
And he's looking like he wants this fight here. Ishtar all out now, but countered by the Ram ult. Only hits the first shot. Both of them getting fairly low here. Shotgun autos now from Ishtar should turn things around, and Omni-based rotation does turn things around. That is Zuzu falling there for the second time this game.
I'm gonna give Leon some credit there. I don't know if Omni was needed there. I think Leon might have won that 1v1. He was doing really well. I think that was a not gross overstay, but misuse of the beads. You can take the bets. I get that you wanted the blue Zuzu, or the purple Zuzu, but it's you gotta lead. Maybe try and force it some other ways. As now his purple's getting invaded, and I don't think there's much that he can do about that, especially with beads down. Kuzco's gonna go on to them.
And Kuzco is losing the trade against this Rom, who he has 2 levels on. The Bloodforge just enough to give him quite a lot of power there. I don't know if Kuzco was low when he first stepped up or not. Blink out from Simon Says Smite, trying to keep the chase on, but I don't think he's going to be able to get too much done with Leon on the rotation. Now it's actually Kuzco who jumps in, forces out the ult, but Destruction Ultimate is better and does get that kill there, but Leon smells blood in the water. Here comes Consuming Power from the Morgan Le Fay, and Omni does get yet another kill. 3-0 on this Morgan Le Fay so far. There's Rebuke getting put out. Could be a lot of trouble for Maui here. Solar Leap brings him safety for a moment. Meanwhile, Zuzu drops Omni base, getting that shutdown gold. Leon could be in a bit of trouble in the Gold Fury pit as well, but here comes his support, seeing if they can't get some peel going. Looks like that should be the end of the fight. Both teams getting some picks there. Who do you think came out on ahead after that trade?
Say Vibe Tribe definitely. Getting the shutdown on Omni was insane, especially for Zuzu, who is just coming back, as we talked about, from just dying, is already probably going to be able to back for his crit item, which is going to put Leon even further behind. Leon did opt for Devos, I would like to note, which means he's stacking while Zuzu is not. You do get the physical pen out of Devos, when it is stacked, and I believe it is more lifesteal than Bloodforge, as Kuzco wants to take this Pyro, but Bloodforge, the attack speed, you get the shield, that gives you a lot of movement speed when it's done, and also a lot of survivability as soon as you get that kill. So I like the Bloodforge more, but I'd be interested to see how the rest of Leon's build goes if he leans into maybe needing that flat pen a little bit more than Zuzu does with his build.
Yeah, it's definitely a slower power spike than Bloodforge, but as you said, that pen could come in to play and kind of let him build something different, as it looks like Terminator was trying to see if he could get an invade going, now in a bit of trouble here as Waxing Moon does stun him out for the moment. 3 people rotating around, and it's Timbo with another good root on this Toth, who does end up getting the kill there.
Timbo is putting on a clinic on how to root people as Thoth, and while I hate him, to be honest, not Timbo, the god. No, we love Timbo here. Terminator does get that blue invade off, but don't think it was worth your life. I don't think it was worth your life. I think as soon as the Kali shows up, you just gotta leave and accept that that's over. You're not getting it. I would say Hairnets they're doing well. I mean, even gold right now. 12 minutes in, even gold. I believe you have a 2-level deficit in solo, a level in jungle, a level in carry, and it's just because of these overextensions that they're doing. They're staying too long in fights. They're going for things that they don't need to. Yeah, 1,000 XP difference. And while that doesn't seem like much, that's second relic for Itchy that he can get. That's second relic for Simon that he can get. When Kuzco and Terminator just don't have those opportunities yet, and so if I'm Vibe Tribe, I might want to look to force something right now. I'd probably have Itchy rotate over, try and see if I can't force this gold.
And they do pick up that Phantom Shell, very, very useful when there's the emoji on the other side, allowing them to get out of that River's Rebuke. Waxing Moon used again, but looked like it was off the mark there onto Terminator, just fighting over that farm in the jungle.
Terminator showing no fear, saying, "Yes, you've killed me once, but I am Hercules. You will not kill me again." That, again, still 2 levels down here, though. Took a tower shot. I don't think it will actually end up as anything, especially now that he does have magical defenses online at the very least. Itchy, I'm wondering if he will go any defenses or if he will go just a full damage build, in which case Leon's flat pen will get a lot more value than it would if Itchy did go more tank based on this Chanji.
That is very true. That will go quite a long ways. Was that a
That was.
I wonder if that was a misclick, like a fat finger. I don't know why.
Knowing Kuzco, it could have just been the flex. I don't need these. I bought these just to show you that I had them.
I almost thought I must have just missaw what happened there, not really seen a reason for the beads. So it could have been just a mental thing, like you said there. That shield buff confirmed by Rom. Taking a look at some of the builds across the board, pretty standard out of all the mages that are currently in the lobby. All 3 going for that same build there with the Spear of Deso after the Doom Orb, but could be Zuzu in a bit of trouble as Kuzco does try to get in, but there is a whole horde of Vibe Tribe members here, and the Leon and Kuzco both fall for trying to see if they can get that pick, and that should lead to a easy and free Gold Fury on the side of Vibe Tribe.
I blinked and they were gone. That was just really good vision from Vibe Tribe, knowing that Hairnets, no one on the Hairnets was close, and Hairnets did not know that they were even there. So you see what happens when Orama gets 2 seconds to breathe, and a Thoth and Kali right in the back. Just absolute destruction. Getting that gold Fury, opening up a 2.5k gold lead for them. And I'd be looking to see them push this Pyro as well.
Definitely starting to take control of this lobby here. The Hairnets will know about this Pyro now that it's getting started up. They have that Sentry Ward there, but with 4 members here on the Pyromancer, I don't imagine there's much that they can do to try to steal it away. They do use the River's Rebuke, but it's not quite enough. It does get the kill onto Mr. Joe, though. And the fight is not done yet. Blink in from this Hercules on Terminator, but a good waxing moon to make sure that they are able to retreat there. Ends up being Pyromancer traded out for support.
Beautiful waxing moon from Itchy there. Just 3-man stun is basically as much as you can ask for from a Chanji. late game, early game, any game.
Yeah.
As whose code is Leon just soloed him.
Wow.
Okay. Go off. Absolutely just insane from Leon saying I think Zuzu had a 2-level lead at that point.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, he'd been doing well in those 1v1s and in those fights before, but Leon could be in trouble now. Destruction ult will get the job done. Kuzco was trying to get that tower, does end up hitting that Bakasura ult, but can't get the kill. That's a double kill for Simon Says Smite, and the tier 1 tower is still standing.
He wanted to eat the minion. Kuzco, no! I get where he's coming from there. As Omni takes the 2v1 in mid and wins it. Does he get out? He should. I don't think Joe can survive long enough to actually kill Omni here, especially with Yoshi here. But going back to, especially that 1v1, that was just, Leon was an entire item down. Zuzu has a Rage, by the way. He's going Rage, which is not part of the normal carry build. Usually you're seeing a Demon Blade in that slot. Leon also not going Boomerang. There are a lot of deviations, as looks like Terminator is taking a fight that he might lose. He wants to push Itchy to tower.
3-level disadvantage there. Hercules or not, full damage Chonga, who has 3 levels on you, is going to deal a lot of damage.
Absolutely, yeah, that's not...
Kuzco blinking in, but counter blink. Good reaction time out of Itchy there. Saves his life, not needing to even take that fight. As Leon now, once again, in a lot of trouble. A gets to buy a little bit of time. Does end up getting the Rom ult with that relic, I suppose, but ends up falling again. The blink in on this side of the map, trying to see if they can't get Omni here. Good River's Rebuke to split up that fight and buy some time for the mid laner to see if they can't make it out. Final Judgment is up and getting charged to possibly secure a kill Hiller, but that was very good peel out of this Yamoja to get Omni out.
Absolutely beautiful River's Rebuke. Simon says, alright Zuzu, you lost the 1v1. I'm going to come over and help you a little bit. Let's get you that 2-level lead back. This is what I was worried about, especially if I was Hairnets from Vibe Tribe. This snowball-esque playstyle that they're doing. They constantly want to fight because Hairnets, when Hairnets are in these 5v5, they're a lot stronger. You see, once Yoshi is in a fight, that he's able to have these beautiful River's Rebukes. They're usually able to get a kill. If Kuzco and Leon are together, that they can force things. Omni has been insane. He took a 2v1 and killed Timbo. But what Vibe Tribe is doing is they're not letting them group. They're just constantly they're taking an edge. They're taking an inch that is someone stepping out of position, just taking it and running with it, as this Primal is getting shredded.
Should be a pretty easy secure for Vibe Tribe, and it is. They back up a bit, but it looks like they might want to take a fight here. We do see that Terminator has made his way towards this side of the map, and as we were talking about during Picks and Bans, once the 5v5 happens, Hairnets do have a very good comp for that. So this could be an almost like a turning point for the Hairnets if we get to the point where everybody's grouping and we're having 5v5s. They could start to try and claw their way back into this game, and starting with a Pyromancer is going to get that started.
That helps. It does hurt that your solo laner is down 4 levels. I won't not say that. And it does look like Kuzco, I think, is down at least a level and a half. So this solo side, these divers need to make sure that they're actually getting their farm and playing safely, so that way they can actually survive any team fights and still do things. Herc still has that 2-1 combo. It doesn't matter what level he's at. As long as he's level 3, he can hit it. And if he hits it, you're out of position. His team, as long as his team follows up, you're still looking pretty as a Hercules. But Kuzco being this far down especially hurts because Simon is an entire item over him now. As Vibe Tribe looks like they want to go for this Fire Giant.
Definitely positioning around the pit as if they want to at least bait a fight, if not just get the FG. If I'm Hairnets, I'm definitely wanting to play through Omni-based, as the fire is pulled and starting to get burned already at half health. This doesn't seem like a bait. This seems like they actually want it. Simon says Smite deals with Omni right after I mentioned that they should play through him. The Hurt Boulder is a bit too early there, unable to get the steal. Here comes Kuzco, though, unable to get it as well as Zuzu puts him in the grave. Rivers Rebuke trying to split up the fight, but Itchy will get a kill. Leon, though, turning one back in favor of the Hairnets before Zuzu gets a triple kill, and that is a deicide in favor of Vibe Tribe and a Fire Giant at the 21-minute mark.
This isn't Phoenix. They didn't push up minions, but this is definitely true. I think you laid out the plan perfectly. Hairnets knew that they needed to play through Omni. I think Vibe Tribe knew it as well, which is why Simon says, no, you're not playing through Omni. He's dead. Can't. Trying again. They didn't have Vision on Fire, so sadly the Hertz Boulder was just so late. As they looks like they are pushing this. Do they have any bombs? They don't.
This is not EFG, so those backdoor protections will not be available. Kuzco putting out the ult and will pick up Mr. the Joe on the Maui. Final Judgment going through does deal a lot of damage, but Zuzu ends up falling as well. That is 2 for 0 here on this siege. We should be able to see Timbo twice get out here with that safety of his Toth Dash, but the chase is not over yet. They are walking down this lane towards Timbo twice. Terminator trying to get in range for that Herc ability, but looks like he's given up for the moment. But that I don't know if that was an overextension by Vibe Tribe or a good defense by Hairnets. Probably a bit of both, but it ends up costing them too.
Yeah, I would say a bit of both. As Simon goes in, hits the stun on Leon, forces beats Nigus and absolutely shreds him.
Just deleted. This Kali is online now. We can see that Dominance and Serrated Edge have been picked up, and it looks like Simon is heading into that Bloodforged afterwards. This Kali is now officially a problem, though. I mean, 7, 4, and 9. I guess Simon has been a problem for a while.
Absolutely. This Kali's going to delete whoever they're on, because on top of having the 40% pen in the kit, her passive also increases her percent pen by an additional 20%, I believe, because of her level set. 60% pen on whoever she is on with her autos, which is an insane mark, and tanks can't survive her against her. This is why late game Kali is something to be feared. You have to stun her out, as this is a 6k gold lead for Vibe Tribe and 10k in experience. You only hit level 20 once though.
Definitely. I mean, they managed to get Fire Giant off important members as a engage coming in here from the Hairnets, but it looks like Itchy's the one that's going to turn one around onto Kuzco. The Ishtar ult and Rivers Rebuke used there as well. Low health bar for Zuzu here, and Omni will confirm that kill and be able to walk away safely. A 1-for-1 trade ADC for jungle. Good picks from the Hairnets, and I like that they're still stepping up. They're still trying to win these fights, but trading out your jungler who still needs to hit level 20 for that ADC is not always going to be worth it.
No, it's not, but I don't think it's the worst thing in the world, because it does put them in a better position to get this Pyromancer. As soon as Terminator gets here, I would skip this vehicle, but they did drop it, and Vibe Tribe ever on the mark, punishing every single mistake this Hairnets team is doing, is just picking it right back up.
Bakasura's build is coming along as Simon Says Smite decides to jump onto Terminator here, does successfully invade that blue buff, and not all, I mean, just a few autos and a few abilities there, and Terminator almost lost half his health without the use of that Destruction Ultimate. You can definitely see what you were talking about with this Kali jumping onto the tanks. She does not care who she's fighting, she's just going to do a lot of damage as Fire Giant is back up, and I expect both of these teams to start the dance here soon.
Absolutely. Worth noting, Kuzco and Omni both just hit level 20. Omni should be backing soon for this starter. I assume this is the back for the starter. Kuzco going the crit on Baka, which is exactly what you want to do right now, which might have been why Leon did lean towards this heavier pen style build that he has going on right now with Demon Blade and as Deathbringer as his crits. if Cusco can get onto a backliner and actually get time to do anything, he's going to lead someone. But it's just a matter of getting the time, and Vibe is not allowing that right now, which is exactly Zuzu is pushed up far, but
huge waxing moon out of Itchy, stuns a ton of them. Simon Says Smite and Zuzu comboing there to get that kill. Cusco falling as well. Terminator does manage to turn one back around, and it's crucially onto Simon Says Smite, but Zuzu does not care, walking in, tanking up that T2 tower, and getting yet another kill for this Vibe Tribe squad. They don't even need Fire Giant, walking up, winning a fight, and getting the tier 1 and tier 2 in mid. Now they can just calmly walk towards this Fire Giant and pick it up for free.
I don't think I've seen a more aggressive carry than Zuzu. He is in front of his tanks, like, every single fight, consistently. It's amazing.
It is.
I haven't seen him punished yet, so by all means, go ahead. As you're gonna see Terminator try and steal with this boulder here, but Itchy just trades his life in the back with Omni base. That was good on Omni for actually making sure that's trade. That's a huge shutdown for Omni. Itchy hadn't died yet, so that will be an insane amount of gold in the pocket of Omni. I just think he'll get his starter off of that.
Yeah, and it pulled them off of the fire as well with that, the carries trying to tank that up, and Itchy falling. They successfully kind of stopped that Fire Giant that should have been relatively free. So that is a very big play out of Omni to kind of extend this game and give the Hairnets a better chance to catch back up.
There are some interesting builds in this game. The Gauntlet 4th is not something you see very often out of most supports. You have neither support is, well, I would say Yoshi's doing a pretty good job of stocking the
Protectors. Prophetic.
I forgot the name for it.
But why I said
Joe
protectors.
has not 8 stacks is not usually what you want to see 28 minutes in.
Yeah.
You have the Vital Amplifier 4th from Perk instead of additional magical, which I feel like you need, especially into a Chanji full damage and a Thoth full damage. It does, like, Vital Amplifier is great on Herc, but its benefit comes from in lane boxing, not in team fights. I would have liked to see a magical, especially when you're gonna go Fizz as your 4th item anyway. I would have liked to see a magical defense there.
Yeah, I think I agree. I assume he's got to be going into Spectral for that last item pickup, because Zuzu is shredding him at the moment.
Yeah, I would say Spectral. I'm gonna throw this out there. I don't think it is. It could be Midgardian, I think, right? Or is that the other the tier 1? I don't play tank.
Rom up into the air with the snipes here, trying to finish the kill onto Omnibase just off the mark, but Kuzgod and Leon combine there to drop Itchy again. That is a good pick to start this fight, but here comes Simon Says Smite and Timbo twice with the final judgment, getting the last hit there. Leon in a lot of trouble. Double kill for Timbo and a double kill for Zuzu. Just Omnibase left alive. He's the only one that can stop this Fire Giant. A very risky play for him to step up here, but he's looking like he might want to try it. Turning around the fight onto Simon Says Smite and does get the kill. Now he's got to go against Zuzu, who forced out the Aegis with the consuming power and should be... excuse me, he is just absolutely running the show here. Picks both the backline carries who would be the ones that went for the towers and the Phoenixes there. That is huge out of Omnibase.
Omni just extended this game another 4 minutes. They can't end off of this fire anymore. Zuzu, what are you doing there? You just take the fire. You take the fire. You take the back. Simon, I understand. You want to zone out the LaFay, who has probably the best secure, because Zuzu was forced to use that Rama ult in the previous fight. But I think once Simon dies, you gotta let it go. Omni is LaFay can one-shot you late as seen. Forces out the Aegis, forces out the beads from Zuzu, so he's going to be extremely vulnerable in these next 2 minutes. And Hairnets have all their relics up in about 70 seconds. So I don't know if Vibe can even get a Phoenix off of this. That wasn't enhanced, which means that I would defend this tier 2. If Vibe Tribe goes and tries to take this tier 2 in left, I would defend it on Hairnets purely off of the fact that I know Omni can carry me.
Yeah,
If
I was literally about to say Omni getting the kill on Smite before getting killed by Zuzu. I just expected a couple big crits to come through and for Omni to fall, and then he just turned around that kill. Morgan Le Fay damage is insane, and he is doing everything he can to keep the Hairnets in this game.
in Omni we trust. He got back. He probably got around 1,800 gold from those 2 kills as well, which means he's coming back even stronger. He's going into what might be a Bancroft's last item.
That was going to be my guess.
I don't think it'd be. What's his percent pen? His percent pen's only 20, so this could be a Typhon's to get your max percent pen, but you don't really have any other lifesteal in the build, so I wouldn't like to see it. You have the healing from the ultimate. There's some pluses and negatives to both, but I think it probably will be a Typhon, but I probably would have liked to see a Bancroft out of it instead. As Kuzcode is getting that right tier 2, trading tier 2 and left for tier 2 and right, you at least have an avenue now. If you are the Hairnets, if you win a fight, you have an avenue to go down, push down, and win this game. So this next fight could determine the entire thing, as Kuzcode is getting wrapped around, it looks like.
He could be in a bit of trouble. I don't know if they know he's there, and it looks like he will get the back off just in time. They did know the blink out of Itchy even. They definitely wanted that pick, but Kuzcode does manage to make it back, and it is the Typhon's Fang pickup for Omni base, probably for that percent penetration as you were talking about.
And it was a Spectral, as you noted. I assume that Yochi's going to go to this Spectral as well. Zuzu does hit hard. He has 100% crit chance or 90. One of the two. He has 100. That rage is fully stacked. He's hitting hard. He's critting a lot.
Yes. He is.
He did sell the bladed boomerang actually. He sold the bladed boomerang for that Deathbringer.
Yep, he did.
Okay. So a lot of gold for your build, but I guess if you have a lead and you want to keep extending it, that's exactly the way to go. As Joe, let's check in with the Sports Prophetic. Both of them have gotten one more stack on it since the last time we mentioned. But Yochi does have that gauntlet almost stacked. It's going to do him a lot of favors. His team's going to like it as well. The different starter upgrades for both supports, though. Yochi going Sentinel's Boon, which means if he gets an assist, it's more procs for yourself. But Embrace that the Joe win is going to give even more prot aura around you to his teammates, which means they're getting 25, at least 25 fizz. More than that if they're standing near him with Sentinel's Embrace, and depending on his prophetic stacks. And at least probably, so you're thinking most carriers are going to have an additional 45 prots for fizz, as Kuzco
just deleted. He was just trying to push up that wave, and that is a big pick for Vibe Tribe with this Fire Giant up. It is enhanced, and all of a sudden it is a 5v4 in favor of Vibe Tribe. It doesn't even look like Hairnets are going to fully step up to
No, you're going to see a Hurt Folder attempt to steal. It didn't. You dashed in, Terminator. No! Bye-bye. That's so sad. Kuzco just getting picked out there. Hairnet's not having the best vision around fire, meaning that they can't really see what Vibe Tribe are doing, how they're placing everything is. That's a breastplate instead of a Spectral. Very interesting. That's Phoenix defense. You don't have the worst Phoenix defense if you're Hairnets, but I don't think you step up. None of the 3v5. You're playing stall here. You gotta wait 10 seconds for Kuzco, another 30 for Terminator. All you're doing is stalling, hoping that you're not gonna get 3 Phoenixes down as Itch goes in, blinks in.
So much damage onto Omni, and the last shot is good from Zuzu. Omni falling here, and this should be a free Phoenix in left as well. All 3 Phoenixes down now for the Hanford Hairnets. An almost impossible situation to fight back from, as Kuzcode again gets deleted for just trying to push up a wave that probably will just be game.
Yeah. I think if I am Hairnets, I'm looking at this Chanchi. I don't think I let this through again. As Timbo.
It will indeed be game. Vibe Tribe will take game 1 here in this best of 3 against the Hanford Hairnets and set themselves up to try and continue their string of victories, sitting at the top of Merlin Division right now. That was a clinic out of Vibe Tribe.
Absolutely, just like you said, clinical. Always punishing the mistakes. I said in the 5v5, Hairnets win. Vibe Tribe never let it get to that point. Vibe Tribe never let them group up. It was always pick someone out of position, kill them, snowball. That's exactly what they needed to do to win with this combat, and it's exactly what it did. Timbo played insanely safe on this thought. 8-1 and 11.
Yeah.
Just did not die. He didn't have the most damage, but he doesn't need to when you have Itchy going in, blinking into their backline, not dying, 41k damage, 6k heals. Just putting on a clinic with how you play Chanji solo, which is apparently build damage.
Yeah, I was about to say, I feel like we did not give Timbo the credit he deserved for that game. We were talking about Simon a lot, we were talking about Itchy a lot, and Zuzu a lot, but Timbo did exactly what you want out of your Toth player. Just sit back, rein in the damage, use that final judgment to confirm kills, and like you said, 8-1 and 11 is just a great slash line in this game.
Absolutely, like ban Chanji, make Timbo not safe would be my notes for the Hairnets going into this second game.
I would have to agree with you. And with that, I think we will jump to a quick break before we come back for game number 2. Find out if the Hairnets can bounce back and take us to a game 3. We'll be back in just a moment.
Lately you don't feel like yourself, and you kinda hate it. You suppress all of the thoughts in your head and say it's complicated. You hide your pain, but I can see it etched on your face. I know the feeling, swear you're okay, but you're barely breathing. Don't you walk away. 'Cause I feel you getting lost, I feel you trailing off. Feel it in your words when you say there's nothing wrong. There's something so subliminal about the way that your hands shake whenever you talk. You stare into space like you're lost in your thoughts, surrounded by your paper walls. Tell me what's been going on. Tell me what's been going on. I was so caught up thinking about myself.
And we are back with game number 2 of this Merlin Division matchup between Vibe Tribe and the Hanford Hairnets. Already into picks and bans here, looking pretty similar to how they were last last game. We got Mercury, Thor, and Hebo on the other side for the Hairnets, and they do take that Afro away as well. Susano, it's just the same bands on either side.
I couldn't imagine you banning Terra here, though, if I'm the Hairnets. I would absolutely ban the Chanji. I don't think I'd let that go through again. But yeah, I think for the most part, you do. It didn't. If I'm the Hairnets, I'm like, okay, it didn't go terrible. We held close for a while. It just got to a point late game where they just started steamrolling. So I think that if you can shore up that little gap, maybe shore up a little less feeding, I think you're looking pretty decent.
I agree. They were looking strong in the early game, and we were talking about how they could transition into that team fight phase with a lot of power, but that Changa was just out of hand from Ichi, and they do decide there to take it away. Rom, first pick for Vibe Tribe, same as before. Zuzu looked incredible on it, so I love that they gave it back to him. And then the Terra pickup for the Hairnets. How do you feel about Terra right now?
Her 3 gives insane prots, damage mitigation on the ult now, as well as the 10% damage flip, in the sense that the enemy team is doing 5% less damage, your team is doing 5% more damage. So very strong, especially with you when you get that 10%. Healing's in a little flux. I think people are trying to decide if healing is good or not. Everybody knows Afro is good, but is healing good? I think it's still pretty strong. So this Terra is going to give a lot of value into this team fights, like the Moja was. It's very similar, except that Terra is more brawl style, while Umoja is more poke.
Agreed. I feel like, regardless of where healing is right now, Afro's good for just every other reason beyond the healing. So definitely not something that should make it out of ban phases in any of these games. And the Hades pickup, I assume, in solo there for the Hairnets, responded by a Kali and a Toth, just running it back our Vibe Tribe. And after the game they just had, I do not blame them.
Absolutely. This Thoth, this Kali, Rama, all of them did well, insanely well. As Hairnets. I do want to talk about this Hades for a little bit. I love this pick. I absolutely love it, because Hades is, in my opinion, the number 2 solo laner right now, besides for Hercules. Hercules is the fact number 1, but Hades is number 2. But Hades also is damage. You're gonna see this Hades go full damage. He's going to one-shot the wave. He's going to one-shot the enemy. And late game, it's a lot more pressure on this Thoth, this Rama, because they weren't able to really get into the backline. Hades, blink, dash, that's it. Right? He's in the backline. He's gonna ult. He's gonna fear. He's gonna silence. He's gonna do all that good stuff, and you're gonna see the health bars melt.
Agreed. I feel like it's a great pickup for the Hairnets. Didn't mean to cut you off there. We got the Herc and the Agni bans coming through there. A little confused by the Agni ban, considering Morgan Le Fay was locked in for the Hairnets already. I assume that's got to be going back to Omni and mid.
It was clearly the Agni jungle that they're banning out. No, I think it was just a little bit of, they didn't realize. I've done the same thing in fix and bans. I think everybody has, where you're just like, you're de facto braining. They're thinking they're running it back, and Hairnets have already decided, no, we're not running it back. And Bonchar didn't get the message, sadly. I love these 2 bans coming out from the Hairnets, though. Banning what I would consider the top de facto number 1 solo in Herc, and then banning out his best counter matchup in Odin. Because when you pops that ult, you're stuck in it, 100% anti-heal, and most of the time he's going to ult you when you're ulting. Ishtar, fantastic pickup. I think Leon did really well on it, so give it back to him. Let him. I mean, he soloed Zuzu. Let him do it again.
He did. I feel like he started falling behind once Simon Says Smite was rotating very often on the Kali. So hopefully the Hairnets have recognized that and can send over some counter rotations of their own, or Leon can just play a little bit safer under that tower. The Yamoja lock in for this Vibe Tribe squad, and then a Chernabog is the final pick. It's got to be what it is, yeah. Ichi taking that Chernabog.
You are never safe now. This Chernabog can be on you in a second. He can clear wave. He doesn't clear wave as fast as Hades, but he still can clear wave exceptionally well, and he's going to be extremely safe in soloing. Vibe Tribe has said, you try to win solo, we are going to ignore it. Solo lane does not exist to Vibe Tribe. It is a lane that Turnabout goes to farm. That is it. The towers aren't real. The lane pressure isn't real. So you're gonna look for this Turnabout to rotate out mid game. Anything if they want a gold fight, you think the Chernobog's in solo lane, boom, all of a sudden he's at gold on your team. They're in a 5v4 and Hades is stuck in solo lane going, guys, I can get the tier 1 though. Which is it's tough, but
Bologna locked in jungle? Bologna jungle for Cusco?
yeah, I would assume. Listen, I love my magical jungles. I've played Hades jungle. I think Hades solo is a little bit better. I would assume this is the jungle Bologna, and it does have a very good matchup because with the 3, it disarms, which means the Kali can't auto, the Rama can't auto, the Chernobog can't auto. The Thoth cannot use his 1 when he is disarmed because it is technically an enhanced auto. Yamoja cannot heal unless she's using her 2. So I really do like it into Vibe Tribe. I'm going to be interesting to see how he builds it. Is he going to build more tanky? Is he going to build more damage? I'm assuming he's going to build more damage. I would like to see him go a protector over the jungle into a hot, heavy, tank-heavy build. Just so that way you can supplement the Hades being damaged as well. You can still have 2 tanks, and you can survive going against this Rama, Kali, and Turnabog. But I do love this, the disarm into Vibe Tribe. It's going to be interesting to see how this handles in the 1v1.
Agreed. This should be a very interesting matchup with some kind of spicy picks here between the Bologna and the Chernobog on either side. Once again, now that we can see all 5 members on either team, is there a draft that you're kind of leaning towards for this important game number 2?
I think it'd be hard to vote against Vibe Tribe here, just because of how much of a clinic they put on during that game 1. I love the Chernobog pick in solo with how it's easy to rotate. However, speaking of myself, I think the Hades, if the Hades gets an early lead, if the Hades can kill this Chernobog before he hits that 5, before he can get safe, the Hairnets are looking good. So I'd be looking to play it off the solo lane if I'm the Hairnets. And if I'm Vibe Tribe, just keep doing what you're doing. Chernobog, play safe, play under tower. You're gonna lose some farm, but who cares? You're not here to farm. You're here to just rotate and kill people.
Yeah, maybe we'll see an early rotation out of Cusco towards that solo lane with what I assume will be this Bologna, though I guess until we get into game we won't know for sure. But I think I agree with you. I feel like Vibe Tribe have that core backline that they just won game 1 with. They all looked very comfortable on those picks. All 3 of them just did so much work in that first game, and now that they have them again, it is hard to put your money against them. Frontline is different than it was before, but you still have just basically 1 tank with this Yamoja that was the Maui last time, and then a full damage solo laner. Just a hunter, but like you said, that global presence is going to bring almost an extra layer of intensity to this Vibe Tribe squad.
Some very interesting things I'm noting straight away. 1, Cusco is going to that Eye of the Jungle at the very least. He's going damage first, which I don't disagree with, but he went horrific first as his relic. That is extremely interesting. I love horrific. I don't know if I like it on a jungle first. I would probably like to see a blink set where you can close gap a little better. But I think he's looking to take these 1v1s. I would expect Cusco to take a lot of 1v1s here. Different starts coming out as well as Hairnets did the more traditional start we're seeing, right, with solo and mid taking speed and blue to that XP camp, and then jungle soloing both speed and red. But Vibe Tribe had Itchy solo his blue and then head straight to wave to try and get any lane pressure, but it's already gone.
Yeah, definitely looks like it is already evaporated. Looking at the start for Terminator's Hades, I imagine this is going to be a Doom Orb pickup first for him?
I would assume so. That's usually what you're seeing now. It could be a Rada Tahuti as well, but I would assume just him to be I would assume do more into the more traditional mage items. If you did go Rod, I wouldn't hate it, but I wouldn't love it at the same time. What I don't really like is the TP. TP has been a staple of solo lane for so long. However, when you go a damage solo, you normally don't want to go TP because it really limits what you can do late game. Usually when that blink feeds on Hades, it's that where you can get in and get your damage out.
Looks like that horrific was off the mark there from Who's Code, trying to slow down Simon Says Smite and maybe get that first blood, but the leap was good from the Kali, and nothing will end up coming from that little brawl in mid lane. But something could happen here over the left side Harpies, but it doesn't look like it, as we have a fight coming out for that silver buff here on this side, and Kuzco coming around the backside. Can he catch up to Zuzu? Not quite. Does force the beads out of the ROM though, so not all for nothing, as Kuzco once again in this early game just being a menace here in the other side of the jungle, using that first ability to absorb some of the autos from this Kali and getting the disarm plus lifesteal from that third ability. I definitely think he has an advantage in these 1v1s early here.
Absolutely. This Bologna just keeps getting better and better the more I think about it in terms of helping against the auto tankers. I forgot the one even had block stacks. The ult's really good with the Hades and against the Kali as well, because the ult gives protections. Great. You're in a little bit of danger here.
He is indeed. Does he have the one available for a dash out? It doesn't look like he's needed, as Omnibase stepping up and turning around so much damage. That's the beads out of Timbo, but it will not be enough. First blood once again going the way of this Morgan Le Fay for the Hairnets.
Absolutely beautiful rotate from Omni as well. Just Kuzco does those plays because he knows Omni's there to back him up. I don't expect Kuzco, if he was with any other mid, to be making those plays. Omni just doing a fantastic job of making sure Kuzco's safe. I don't think I've seen him miss an ability yet. I know that's live, but we're going to ignore the fact that it is. But just fantastic getting this first blood. You're going to see he's going to be able to back for this tier 2 Doom Orb. He might. No, he can't get regular Doom Orb yet, but he already has ult. Timbo doesn't. Timbo without beads, so in the next 2 minutes, I'm looking for Kuzco to maybe rotate over once he gets ult.
We saw even with that low health bar, Kuzco still walking in, still getting those invades. I love this playstyle out of him, just being a constant menace in the early game. And, you know, if you're a Hairnets fan, you just gotta hope that he can convert that into something a little more in the late game than what happened in game number 1. But so far, he's off to a great start.
Absolutely. As all starts seem to be pretty normal from what I'm seeing out of everybody. However, Zuzu beads down for another 30, and Ishtar does have ult, so...
Here it comes, as you said, River's Rebuke and Terra ult used, but that Terra ult does so much, and Leon will get the kill there. Hairnets going up 2-0 so far in this map, with an almost 2,000 gold lead, only at the almost 5 minute mark, 1,800. That is a lot this early in the game.
Yeah, I'm interested to see. I'm wondering where that lead is. I see a lot of it is on Omni, and a lot of it looks like to be on Leon. So if Leon can stay safe, you know Simon likes to play off Zuzu. If Leon can stay safe and just can maintain this lead throughout this game, it's gonna be beautiful for the hair. That's exactly what you need.
Doesn't look like we've had Terminator back yet, still just sitting on that lost artifact, but another invade onto the green buff here by this duo in mid. They do manage to secure it. Not much Timbo could have done there from afar, and we see another rotation by Kuzco over toward this duo lane. He did walk over a ward. Zuzu knows where he is, but the route from Terra, and he has no choice but to walk right into Kuzco on this Bologna. Horrific does get out the beads, and there comes the Bologna ult. It forces out Rom heading up into the air for that Astral Barrage, but he surely will be dead the moment he lands, and he is. Kuzco getting credit for that kill, as Omni gets another one in mid, another 1v2 that he turns in his favor, consuming power, getting the final blow on to Simon there.
Boost Code says, I can gank ADC too, and Omni says, it doesn't matter what level I'm at, I'm taking the 2v1 and I'm winning it. Absolutely insane. It was the Doomorb out of Terminator, by the way. It looks like Yoshi also is opting not to go the Prophetic this game, which I do think is good. Boost Code. He stole it!
He did. He got it with that third ability. Such a menace. Ishtar ult actually out here. Seemed like Leon wanted to fight, but Kuzco didn't quite get the memo. But still, that purple buff invade between the tier 1 and tier 2 towers. Just so annoying on these jungle picks is Kuzco in the early game.
And they know Zuzu's beads are down, so they're going to go after him again.
Just off the mark with the Bologna ult there. That surely would have been a kill had it landed, but I love the play style out of the Hairnets here. It doesn't seem like they're phased by the fact that they just lost that first game, as the ult out from Terminator. We see exactly why this Chernobog is so safe. Just a couple more autos might have gotten the job done, but he can just dash out of that Hades ult right into the wall and just wait out the entirety of the damage.
Terminator. I get where he was going for. You want to hit the 2-1 on the wave with your blues up. Safer play would have been going blue there, letting the wave go under tower, healing up from the blue, and then going and taking the fight after that. But Simon wants Leon. He wants to get Zuzu back in this game. I guarantee you Zuzu's like, guys, the guys that ganked me twice. Beads are still down for Zuzu. They finally managed to secure another green as
Here comes Kuzco. We saw some pings there, so they knew he was around. He'll just back, but it's just constant pressure here in this duo lane.
So I think this is exactly how they want to play as well. Put Terminator on island. Yeah, he got soloed. Doesn't matter. Chernobog's not doing anything until late anyway. He's a carry. Put Terminator on island. You don't got to gank him. You don't got to worry about it. Omni's taking 2v1s and winning them. I don't know how. Could be goated, I guess. But you just put all this pressure on Leon, who's doing a fantastic job. Again, a Lance call-up doing a fantastic job against Zuzu, who's some consider to be a top mid laner in Merlin. Soloed him once, doing a great job holding his own the entire thing, as he does go to Bloodforge this game, not the Devos, by the way.
I wonder if that was just how much money he had on a back in the last game, just wanting that to finish out an item, or if it was a conscious decision to try out both different options.
What a flex. Yeah, I'm a Lance call-up. I'm going to try something out in this first Merlin game, as he's almost does it again.
Look at him go, Leon.
I need to rest.
This Rama's beads have just permanently been off cooldown. He has not had a chance to have them for any sort of safety under so much pressure as another purple buff invade comes through. It is secured, but it takes final judgment to do so. All the while, the Hairnets are on the Gold Fury, and now that secure that Toth could bring to try and steal this back is off the map. And I don't even know if they have any idea it's going on. They will now, as the sound will echo through the battlefield. But that is a very clean early Gold Fury pickup for the Hairnets.
I think Kuzco was thinking, guys, I'll force out final judgments, that way he can't secure. But great job, Kuzco. You forced out final judgments, that way they couldn't steal. Like, it was beautiful. He didn't get hit with it as well. Forcing final judgment for a purple is not something, as Zuzu is stepping up. No beads. Terrific on the mark.
Does get the Bologna all off though, and only takes the third snipe from the Rom, but Destruction Ultimate is out. Taking tons of damage though, and the tower will confirm it. Leon getting credit for the kill onto Simon's Smite there. Kuzco with no HP and does not care. Gets the kill onto Zuzu. This Bologna will end up falling to Timbo, but the beads are forced on the Toth in return for that. Kuzco just so much confidence, continuing to box with absolutely no HP against that Rama.
Absolutely. You saw, though, why he picked this Bologna. The one, I think he got 2 block stacks out of the one. He was able to disarm him with the 3. He took that 1v1, and I think Rama hit 1 actual auto on Kuzco in that entire time, which is just insane, but you see why it was picked, as he does pick up the Bladed Boomerang. Both Kuzco and Leon going for this crit. It looks like Cusco is going more leaning towards a more damage-heavy style than the tank style I would have liked to see out of him. I don't think that's necessarily bad. I think you will be feeling it late, though. So it's going to be very interesting to see how much of a lead you can get late, or how much of a lead you can transition this lead into late as you are 3K up.
Yeah, I feel like it could be the right call, because I mean, how are you going to be able to tank through the Kali damage anyway if you end up going for like a tanky or hybrid build? So just opting to get the crit and hope you can take the 1v1, it seems to be the direction that Cusco is opting to go for here, as they take a look at this Pyromancer. Final Judgment is available, but Cusco, all aggression. Good root out of Timbo again. He is so good on this Toth, but he was able to buy enough space there to make sure that the Pyromancer does go the way of the Hanford Hairnets, pushing this gold lead to around 4,000 now.
I think the Hairnets need to be very careful here. You use 2 of your main ultimates for that. I'm glad they're backing off here. That was a little more aggressive. I think if Vibe Tribe knew that Omni did not have ult, you might have seen them go more aggressive there. As you can see, the Hades 2's wave, ult's wave, as the danger Hades brings. He can just pop that ult. If you can't 3 out of it, he's gonna kill you.
Yep. That was a lot of damage getting traded on both sides there. It's like a very standard mid build out of Terminator's Hades, do more of into Spear of Desolation and Bladed Boomerang bit and picked up for Itchy. But jumping under the tower, but a 1v1 in the jungle between the junglers here. Bologna might be in a bit of trouble, but might be also baiting for the rest of the team to pop up. Ups, downs with the Bologna ult, but not enough to get the kill. Mr. Lejoe dropping this jungler for the Hairnets, and crucially, Kali will live, and even more crucially, Itchy is here. That global rotation presence lets him get over Timbo twice, getting the kill onto the Terra. That is a 3-for-0 trade in favor of Vibe Tribe. They are not out of this game.
Absolutely, and this is where they're going to get Oni as well. And as I was saying, Itchy goes up into that ult. He's in solo lane 1 second. He's in duo side the next at a Gold Fury fight, and Terminator gets tier 1, which isn't bad. It's still a very good global amount of gold. No, I mean, there's no way. Forced to use beads there. That hurts. As Cusco just went shell as well. Really going into anti-auto attack with these 2 relics and his choice. I don't disagree with it. I think it's a really good, smart choice. I'm just interested in the fact that he is going to be a very damage-heavy squishy with 2 team defensive relics, but not self-defensive relics. No bees, no I guess means that if he gets stuns, if he's not using that ultimate directly at a good time, it's not going to look pretty for him for that much longer.
Yeah, it really is. It is going to be interesting to see what how those relic choices affect what he's able to get done here. He, for the moment, does have a lead over Simon Says Smite, but as we saw last game, the further this game goes on, the more this Kali comes online. I mean, levels only matter to a certain point, and Kali is a late game menace.
Yeah, she is. I mean, you saw it you saw in that team fight where Kali was caught up. Kali took that 1v1 because I have an ult that makes me immortal. I can't die for 6 seconds. Good luck. Can you? As Terminator does get
dove on here, and it's enough with Simon and Itchy combining. They do get that kill, but it looks like Zuzu the one in trouble on the side here. Leon did end up falling before we cut over this way. Horrific pulled out, and it looked like Zuzu just knew he was dead, turned around back into Cusco there. And so it ends up being a trade in dual lane. The jump in onto Omni, though, is good. Consuming power gives him a bit of healing shell pop, and he should be able to get to safety there. But Vibe Tribe, they have been all aggressive here in this most recent minutes, as Beads forced out of Cusco. Rivers Rebuke comes out to split it as well. Very aggressive out of this Bologna as well. Both teams, this is such a scrappy game as Itchy drops Omni there, making that rotation to the mid lane. Gotta feel bad when you die while your teammates are invading the red buff.
Yeah, it's just that global presence again coming out from this Chernobog. They ganked Terminator once. He took the tier 1, and then he rotated over to this fight to get a kill as
Zuzu gets the final kill onto Kuzco there. The Hades ult was good for some damage. Pyromancer did go the way of Vibe Tribe while that was happening. And now it could be this Terra who's in a bit of trouble. Crits coming out, and the stun from Kali will not.
It will be enough. The snipes from Ram Astral Barrage finishing that kill there. They managed to get another in their favor. Probably too early to do the Fire Giant yet, but if that happens again,
similarly in the next few minutes, that will be a Fire Giant call from the Vibe Tribe squad.
absolutely perfect fight for Vibe Tribe. Again, they want to. Vibe Tribe's game, the whole thing is splitting you up and taking these 1v1s, 2v2s, all. Just not letting it 5v5. That is exactly what Vibe Tribe wants to do, and Hairnets are kind of allowing it to happen with that, with Kuzco diving deep into the tier 1. Yes, you got Simon's beads. You didn't kill him. You forced River's Rebuke. You got split up from your mid laner. Omni dies. Like, it's just the catalyst, the conveyor belting of Hairnets just kind of, you gotta got deep breath. You lost your lead, which is very unfortunate. But it's not the end of the world. You can still, when they start group, as your solo laner is 2 levels down again. Last game.
That is unfortunate, and as we're seeing right now, as this Gold Fury dance might start in earnest here, Itchy can just exist in that solo lane. He can pressure this tier 2 over there at any time he wants to. He can just hit 4 and be in this fight, and that's exactly what he's doing. Both teams are ready on this Gold Fury, and Itchy's just able to pressure this right lane.
he can come over whenever the fight begins in earnest, and there is nothing that the Hairnets can do about it.
Absolutely, but it looks like Vibe Tribe is backing off. They do have the steal potential, but just nothing happening. As Terminator just gets.
The steal potential was used to
Put Terminator in the grave. Good Ishtar ult getting some damage turned around by
Leon there, but so many low health bars, and here comes Itchy. Timbo getting a kill as well, but Omni gets a double kill in return, stuck in that River's Rebuke, and will end up falling to Itchy. Looks like Kuzco will win the 1v1 against Simon Says Smite, but he is low, and there's still a couple members of the Vibe Tribe squad lurking around. He will manage to get out safely. Ends up being a 3-for-4, but the Gold Fury goes the way of the Hairnets. That should end up making things pretty even. I mean, the gold is still just 200 or so, 100 between them. Kuzco, though, not done.
forcing the Aegis.
Because you have the 3-up? It doesn't matter. Final judgment, Timbo!
The shotgun blast.
Did he die first blood last game as well?
Yes.
And then he did not die the rest of the game. Looking for a repeat.
He looks so comfortable on this Toth. What a turnaround onto
Kuzco there, who it looked like he just had an easy cleanup, but that 180 final judgment, not even bothering to charge it up, just blows up Kuzco.
Absolutely. I mean, you have the rod, so you're gonna do more damage, but that was just little greedy from Kuzco as Zuzu wants this 1v1. I think both of these carries wanted this 1v1 as
it looks
Zuzu
like
is
it's
just
going
absolutely obliterating it. The juke
dodging out the jukes, though. Leon might be able to make it out of here. Rom doesn't have the mobility to catch up with Leon once he's that far away.
good jukes out of Leon, but we got a little taste of where these two hunters are in the build right now, and it seems like Zuzu is swinging.
Absolutely. More crit coming out from Zuzu with that Demon Blade and Boomerang versus just the Demon Blade coming out from Leon. You're seeing the more traditional style build from Zuzu as Kuzco wants this 1v1.
He does, and he has Spectral now to try and fight into this, but here comes Itchy. It's never a true 1v1 when Itchy is alive and has ult. Kuzco does get the kill onto Zuzu, but can he make it away from this Chernobog? The disarm is good, and the root will not be on the mark, just a little too bit out of range. Pyromancer, meanwhile, was dropped, and it doesn't seem like Itchy will end up getting that kill. A good rotation out of him to try and save his carry, but Kuzco got that Spectral, did pick up some of that tankiness that you were talking about. It looks like he might have picked up a different item and then sold it.
He sold Spirit Room. He had a full Spirit Room when he died to Timbo.
Oh.
I don't know if it was a tier 2 he died, bought Spirit Robe or something. He might have only had the tier 1. I wasn't able to see, but I saw a full Spirit Robe there. And now I don't see the Spirit Robe and I see the Spectral. As it looks like Hairnets want to take the fact that Zuzu, they know Itchy's ult's down. This is a smart fight for them. They see Itchy in left and know his ult's down.
That is very true. They are burning this Fire Giant fairly quickly, already below half health as Kuzco zones away this Kali. The Rom snipes, he's out of range. River's Rebuke is going to be used to try and steal it, but the Hairnets do get the secure. Now, will they be able to make it out safely? He really asks. This is Phoenix getting pressured, and it's the Vibe Tribe trying to interrupt any sort of backs or any sort of way to allow them to get in.
Kuzco falling to Zuzu there. Terra ult and Hades ult used, but Simon says Smite drops Terminator. Omni base does get a kill onto Timbo. The blink away as Leon puts down Mr. the Joe on this Yamoja. All the while, though, Itchy did get that Phoenix there on the left side. Beads used by Omni trying to get this final kill onto Simon Says Smite. Aegis by Itchy there. And it's the chase is on. Omni is just walking right at this Chernobog and does have the damage to put that down. But unfortunately, in the background, the Terra did fall. But here comes Omni. Zuzu, you better watch out. This Morgan Le Fay hurts. Level 20. Already has that Rada Tahuti, Spear the Magus. She is on the chase with that movement speed from Doom Orb. Zuzu deciding to take this fight. The knockup is good. Consuming Power's out. And it is more than enough to get a kill. Omni now 7, 2, and 1 with top damage in the lobby. What a show.
Zuzu, I showed you what happened last game when you try and 1v1 me. I was low health then, you don't get the kill now. However, throughout all of that, Vibe Tribe won. Because what do you take fire for? You take it so that way you can get a Phoenix, right? So that way you can siege. Well, Vibe Tribe was able to siege. They got the best Phoenix on the map without having to take fire. Sure, they all died, and sure, they lost fire as Joe, incredibly out of position. You don't know while you're jumping into 5 people. I know you want to check that Oni, but I don't think Oni's matters that much. As Vibe Tribe still gets it, Timbo, you're putting on a clinic!
Timbo with the perfect timing there takes away that Oni period. That's going to be Oni fire minions in the left lane marching towards the Hairnets base. I mean, with what you were saying, the sieging not going their way already, that kind of just kills the rest of it. I mean, there's Oni minions in every wave. They should be able to clean up the towers here in mid, but that's not exactly what you're looking for when you pick up the Fire Giant, losing a Phoenix.
Especially when you have to lose a Phoenix for that Fire Giant. Yeah. They might not even get this tier 2. Vibe Tribe wants to fight over it. Oh my god!
Oh. Terra all pretty good. Simon Says Smite just deleted off the map. Good stuns onto the front line there, but they haven't gotten this tier 2 yet. And it even looks like Vibe Tribe is stepping up in front of the tier 2. The heals from Terra, though, sustaining up this team. Omni's full health and is stepping up. But I don't know if they're going to get this tier 2 with how good the defense from Vibe Tribe has been so far.
Actually, someone needs to go deal with the Superman minions to the left, though.
They are about to push into the Titan, but they're jumping forward instead. Omni does get the kill onto Timbo. And the tier 2 does fall. Terminator getting the kill onto Mr. Joe, but those Oni fire waves are on the Titan.
They have 2 bombs. They could.
They do. They might be able to. They sent back Terminator to finish it off, but Zuzu gets the kill onto the Terra. This Phoenix is low, but it's not enough, and Zuzu is here to play, getting the double kill, dropping Omni as well without 3 members here. It looks like Kuzco could be the next to fall, and he is. Vibe Tribe on a charge. Everything working in their favor for the moment.
Absolutely, that was just. You either got to dedicate to the Phoenix with all 5, I think, or you just got to say, okay, we're back and we're going to deal with these Oni fire wave in left. You got to do one or the other. You can't do that half and half, as you saw exactly what happens. They only used one bomb as well. They didn't use the second one until late. All of them got wiped. They're gonna. Vibe Tribe is now looking for position around this fire giant. You're in an even game because your Phoenix is about to come up, but it's not looking pretty.
I feel like all of the momentum is on the side of Vibe Tribe, and as they start this fire giant with no one from the Hairnets anywhere nearby, it doesn't look like they're going to be able to step up and defend this. That will turn things in their favor. Frenzy and Final Judgment used just to make sure that the fire giant does go their way. And now it is the Vibe Tribe's turn to start this siege, even though I suppose they were the ones sieging without having that last fire already. How do you feel about the Hairnet siege defense?
It's difficult. Hades doesn't exactly want to be on the defense. He likes to engage with that dash. I think if you're going to look at Hades looking around these doors to get out, I'm hovering there if I'm Hades, and I'm just looking to dash in, silence 3 ult. Kuzcode he does have some defenses. He's doing 3 Fizz defenses with that protector as well. He's tanky, but the second Timble looks at him, he's going to be turned to dust. So it's not the worst in the world, but I would bet more on Vibe Tribe splitting this map. I put Itchy wherever you want to siege. Put Itchy on the other side of the map. So if you want to siege left, put Itchy in right, and just forced this uncomfortable 4v1 for Hairnets, because it's not a 4v1, it's a 4v1 and then 5v4 basically, because Itchy can just ult over. He's gonna force someone over. The second he does, ults over to the other side, and guess what? That Phoenix is going to be down because there's going to be 2 carries on it, and it's going to be down in the blink of an eye.
Yeah, and if you don't send someone over to deal with Itchy on that other side, then he'll just take the Phoenix. I mean, he's a full damage hunter. He's gonna pressure these towers and these objectives. So it's an impossible situation for what the Hairnets have to deal with, as we are in a small pause here, giving the players a chance to work out whatever they need to. There is also the fact that Vibe Tribe have 2 bombs, which is just going to make these Phoenixes melt even quicker than they already would with all of these auto attackers.
Absolutely. I mean, you could even, if you really wanted to do a 3-1-1 split, put Zuzu, Timbo, Joe on left, put Kali in mid, put Simon in mid, because he's got a bomb, so if they don't, he's going to be able to shut that mid thing, he's going to be able to shut, and then Vibe Trap has so many ways to not let this be a 5v5, which is exactly what they don't want it to be. That's always Vibe Tribe's game plan going into this entire thing, is no 5v5, no 5v5, no 5v5. Because when they've been in these 5v5s, Hairnets have been dominating, frankly. They've been constantly winning them, constantly getting out on top. And Vibe Tribe just obviously won't throw them out of it, especially in a siege. So.
Yeah, the 5v5 from the Hairnets has been very good. I mean, anytime
you can have a big grouping and you have a Terra on your team and you can hit, a Terra ult that gets most of your team and most of the enemy team, that fight is gonna go in your favor. And with Yoshi picking up the Spear of Desolation there kind of late in the build, I personally really like that on a Terra. I feel like it can bring a ton to what she's able to do. How do you feel about some damage on your Terra supports?
Flat pen more than the damage, but yeah, absolutely. I think both is very solid, as you do see Itchy.
Kuzcode stepping up.
Beads Aegis forced out of Itchy, and the horrific comes out later. The physical protections that Kuzcode had there, the spectral, the what I hope is a Midgardian male, but could be something else, doing a lot to sort of help them on that defense. And everything we were talking about the siege defense out of the Hairnets was hinging on the fact that it would be so hard to deal with Itchy on this Chernobog. But an easy way to fix that problem is just to kill the Chernobog.
Absolutely, just have Kuzcode solo him. Why didn't I think of that? Forehead. Kuzcode now putting on a, he misses the disarm, but the protections were just so much that Itchy couldn't do anything about it, because Itchy has 20% pen, and if he gets a crit, an additional 10, but Nothing more than that. So he is a little bit on the weaker side to tanks, which is why I was saying I would want Cusco to go this tanky build. Now he couldn't do the same to Suzuki because he's got Kins, and Kins is the bane of all tank players. Har har. But I think you saw what even late game what this Bologna can do. I haven't wondered. It's not Sov, right? But you got Sov, Mid Guardian.
Mystical?
Oh, no, please no.
I don't know. Yeah, interesting. We'll have to see what he ends up going. We do also see physical protection picked up for Terminator, probably a Spectral. I would hope it's a Spectral.
I would assume the Spectral. I assume you'd see 3 Spectrals at the end of this with Yoshi, Cusco, and Terminator all going in, which means that Squishies could have, at a max, 60% crit reduction, which would be nice.
Yeah, that would definitely be nice.
If I'm a Squishy, I love that. I'm like, yeah. Everybody's going Spectral all these games, just so everybody knows, all right?
Taking a look at, as we're talking about builds, the teams still just do a little dance here, getting ready for the next Fire Giant to spawn, which will be enhanced, and Itchy starts threatening this left lane. There is not a lot of anti-heal on either side. I mean, there's Yamoja, there's Terra, Morgan Le Fay has consuming power to heal, Bologna can heal, Kali has a heal. There's not much anti-heal on either side, as Itchy in a lot of trouble. The Bologna ult just to get in there, the disarm will get the kill, but all the while Vibe Tribe is doing this Fire Giant, and they do pick up EFG, Itchy kind of the sacrificial lamb there, and we do see 4 members of this Vibe Tribe squad with enhanced Fire Giant around their waist.
Yeah, that is a decent trade to make if you're Hairnets, because you were losing your left Phoenix if both were there. I don't know, because Terminator did do very well in that 1v1, so I don't think Cusco needed to be there. You might have been able to put up a little bit better defense around that Fire Giant if Cusco's there. But, yeah, thank you for pointing out, Rosie, that Deathbringer does have anti-heal now, so you are seeing that out of at least Vibe Tribe with the Divine, the Deathbringer, and the Contagion. But yeah, I'm surprised the Hairnets don't have too much. You don't see a Divine out of either the Terra or the Morgan Le Fay.
It's just the Deathbringer from Leon that's going to give anti-heal on the Hairnets.
I would have liked to see a Tainted out of Terminator, I think, instead of the Sacrificial. Sacrificial more damage, but you're not really going that lifesteal-esque build anymore. I would have liked to see the Tainted to give that 50% anti-heal into anybody that you would have hit.
I agree. I feel like Tainted's so good on him. M armor. Oh, that was the Bologna pickup for the.
I love Emperor's Armor. I feel like it's such a good item. I have been in love with Emperor's Armor for like seasons now, even when it was garbage. I just feel like the passive can be such a game changer in offensive and defensive sieges. So I always love when I see anybody pick it up.
I'm completely with you. I don't know if I would want to see my jungle pick it up, but I'm completely with you in the sense that I love it. Jungle is maybe the one thing, as both Terminator and Cusco are looking for Itchy, he just threads the needle and misses both of them. This is going to go down so fast if they use the bombs on this. That's one.
And it is going down very quickly, but the stepping up is this Hades, who gets final judgments, and then Simon Says Smite gets the final kill there. Rom snipes out, and Itchy will get a double kill. Rivers Rebuke trying to split this fight up even more. Itchy with the triple kill. Who cares about the Phoenix Siege? If you can just get the deicide, that's a quadra kill for Itchy Eggplant and the game. What an absolute crazy finish. That is Vibe Tribe taking the 2-0 against the Hanford Hairnets, and Itchy just going ham in the last few seconds there.
Absolutely. I blinked and I missed it. The game was done. Absolutely just insane from Itchy. Beautiful rotate. I think, especially when you have the Emperors, if you're Hannes, you kind of want to fight under that Phoenix, but Vibe Tribe just handles their aggression. The 2 blanks and the ults from Terminator and Cusco were handled beautifully by this Vibe Tribe team to just back off, wait for them to all expend, and then hard engage. Beautiful Rivers Rebuke there from Joe. Absolutely beautiful ult in from Itchy, and then obviously the Quadra. It was all right. No Pensa, though. Simon going ham in the back on everything that could have gone right for Vibe Tribe, went right in that fight, and they're just able to win off of it. It's just
Yeah, it was extremely well planned out and handled in that final siege there. I want to point out that Omni with the top damage in the lobby, both games looked so good on this Morgan Le Fay. I feel like he was doing everything he could to keep the Hairnets in that game. But unfortunately, it was just too much, and Vibe Tribe were showing why they are the top of that Merlin division.
absolutely. Omni extended the first game by at least an additional 4 minutes by killing two as they got enhanced fire giant. He had, I think, 2 fights here where he just absolutely cleaned house and was able to win it for Hairnets. If you're Hairnets, yeah, you lost this one. It was a really tough matchup though, but there's a lot of things that you can look at, see what went really well, and gain and move on with to your next game, to playoffs, as you aren't going to be in gauntlet. You know you're not in playoff. You know you're going to be in playoffs. So just look to the future.
Definitely. And if you're Vibe Tribe, I mean, you're just more securing your first seed there. They put on a clinic the entire time. Props to literally every member of that Vibe Tribe squad. They all pulled their weight and did such a good job in that matchup. But that is going to do it here for us for this first set here today on the Camelot Smite League. We will be back in a while with our second set of the day. Thanks so much, Things Go Boom and Rosie, for the cast. I had a great time.
We will see you all in a bit.